The girl in the turquoise dress bluntly states, "You're my boyfriend, right?" But at the Academy's lavish ball, she sees something she didn't want at all. The center of everyone's attention is her lover with another girl. The moment freezes, foreshadowing the inevitable collision. Her emerald eyes read a mute question. Why? The betrayal is revealed. Her boyfriend is holding the hand of her younger sister, Anna. He tries to justify himself, but Anna immediately intervenes, defending him. Anna assures him with feigned innocence that it just happened. Ellie, surrounded by her guests, froze with the shock and pain of betrayal. But even through the shock, a spark of determination flashes in her gaze. Ellie bitterly admits, "I get it, Anna's so sweet after all." She continues with a wry chuckle. "Naturally, you fell in love with her." The guy tries to apologize, but Anna and he look confused. Anna weeps theatrically, covering her mouth, and he thinks how adorable she is even in her tears. Ellie turns away from them with the words, "It's okay, Anna, don't worry." The sisters look at each other, one crying, the other with cold calm. Ellie painfully realizes, after all, you're the one who's always been loved. Unable to take it anymore, Ellie runs down the stairs. Her shoe freezes on the step. She whispers, "I'll never..." Tears stream down her cheeks, but her eyes are determined. "I won't fall in love again." Her heel slips treacherously, and Ellie loses her balance on the stairs. She flies down the steps, looking up at the approaching floor in surprise. The guests watch her fall in horror, unable to help. The world turns upside down when Ellie goes ballistic. The thought flashes through her mind. This is the worst thing that could have happened. Memories come to mind. The voice of her mother, always asking her to defer to Anna. The mother convinces little Ellie to give Anna what she wants. Ellie is smart and a good girl after all. She hears herself agreeing dutifully. There are whispers in the garden. It's strange that Ellie and Anna are sisters. They don't look alike at all. Anna is so sweet and adorable, not at all like Ellie, they continue. Guests whisper, "Ellie's always in the corner, too smart for us." Ellie thinks, "That's not true, I just didn't want to intrude." Anna remarks in surprise. "And Ellie is cute when she smiles, you know?" Ellie bitterly, "So there's no denying that I'm boring?" No matter how hard I try, Ellie thinks, all the love always gets Anna. Memories of balls where Anna was always the center of attention. In her mind, Anna and her boyfriend are a perfect in-love couple. Naturally, she's more charming, runs through my mind, but is she really? Falling, Ellie realizes, this isn't how I really feel. A kaleidoscope of hurt. Anna with a toy, Anna with him, her pain screaming, "I can't do this anymore." Suddenly, someone's ominous voice whispers, "This hate." Ellie falls into the abyss, and the voice continues, "What an appetizing soul." Her eyes widen abruptly. She comes to her senses. Ellie looks around, sitting on the floor. Where am I? She recalls falling down the stairs and thinks, am I dead? The same voice confirms her worst fears. That's right! A winged creature with horns appears in front of her, looking up at her from below. The creature smirks, its fangs visible. Right now, you... A demon with scarlet eyes and black wings declares a between life and death. Ellie looks at the hovering demon in shock. Who the hell are you? Ellie looks at the demon, assuming, I guess you're not an angel. The creature snaps its fingers with a smirk. Right. Suddenly, Ellie finds herself in the arms of a winged demon, falling over in amazement. Her eyes widen with shock. What? The demon, holding the cup, introduces himself. My name is Furcus, drawn to your delicious spirit. The girl is confused, her face darkened. A demon? Ellie hesitated doubtfully. My soul isn't that delicious, I'm just boring. Furcus objects. But to demons, your soul is a delicacy, unprecedentedly tainted by evil. Her emerald eye goes wide at hearing, what? Ellie jumps up. Evil! What part of me? Demon calmly, you know yourself, don't you? Furcus grins. The real Elena Shally McClare is not a good girl at all. Ellie mumbles in confusion. It's... Flashback, little Ellie confesses that she never wanted to be a doormat. Her hands clenched, realizing the hidden truth about herself. Ellie thinks bitterly, I'll only realize this after I die. What a fool I am. The demon's sudden question makes her freeze. Do you want to replay the whole thing? Furcus continues, your soul, which has known evil, is already exquisite, but it can become even more exquisite. He offers her a deal. To start her life over and find true love. Ellie interjects incredulously, true love? The demon nods with a smile. Furcus's eyes gleam predatorily. A soul that has known evil and then pure love is a delicacy I crave to savor. Ellie comments on the demon's suggestion with disgust. That's perverse. Furcus clarifies with a smirk. So what's it gonna be? You want to replay the whole thing? A second life? Ellie stares off into the distance, pondering, me? Find true love? Bitter memories come to mind, eternal patience, boredom, and vowing to love no more. Her reflection in the cup of tea sums it up. I've had nothing good in my life. Ellie declares emphatically, okay, I'll replay it. I'll find that so-called true love for you. Furcus soars up. Great, the contract is done, and Ellie vows to live for real. The demon snaps his fingers, triggering the mechanism of the transaction. Ellie falls swiftly through time, a bouquet of flowers flying towards her. Furcus announces the terms. The term is 2 months, until the night of the flower moon, the peak of magic. Furcus reveals the condition. The one you kiss will find true love. The demon asks with a sly smile, perfect setup, isn't it? Ellie falls in a swirl of colors and Furcus demands, show me your love on the brink of life and death. She realizes the good girl is dead, the bad girl is awakening. Ellie wakes up abruptly in her bed, eyes wide open. Looking around the room, she mutters, my room, was it a dream? A sudden voice from the side says, good morning, making her wince. Furcus sits on her bed, smiling slyly. Ellie. Ellie recalls the words in shock. To start her life over and find true love. Then it's not a dream. The demon confirms, that's right, it's real. Your second life begins today. Furcus grinned. Whether it ends 2 months from now until the flower moon or continues beyond, it's up to you. Ellie looks away anxiously, mulling over the demon's words. She realizes, there's exactly 2 months left. 2 months until the ball. Ellie in her room sarcastically remarks, I see, you picked the perfect day, didn't you? The demon asks with a smile, so, how will you live? And Ellie replies thoughtfully, we'll see. Scraps of the past come to mind, childhood resentments, fake smiles, and failed relationships. Ellie declares emphatically, sitting on her bed, I want to live without denying myself anything. I'm done losing. Furcus raises an eyebrow curiously. Oh, her hands clutching the sheet. I'm going to find this so-called true love of yours. Ellie, surrounded by flowers, vows, and I'll make sure I'm happy. Furcus looks at Ellie with anticipation, his eyes burning red fire. It suddenly dawns on Ellie. For that, wait. She ponders. If I went back in time, I should be dating him now, right? Huh? A dark silhouette pops up in her thoughts. My boyfriend? Furcus turns back to her. I forgot to mention. The demon informs with a wide grin. I erased your ex from your memory. It's easier to enjoy a life and death romance that way, isn't it? Ellie lowers her gaze. No wonder. I don't remember his name or what he looked like. Furcus smiles smugly. What an annoying, caring thing to say. Ellie looks thoughtfully out the window. In that case, let's see. Her thoughts flicker. Everyone I hated is gone. It would have been easier to transfer to another school. In front of us, the majestic building of a prestigious academy is sprinkled with petals. 2 students in uniform are talking at the fountain in front of the academy. Inside, on the grand staircase, student life is already bustling. Ellie's eyes go wide when she sees the name, prestigious St. Karma Academy. Ellie strides determinedly toward the gates of a new school, a new life. With her school uniform on, she thinks with a slight smile, really, anything can happen, it's so easy to transfer here. Suddenly, St. Karma Academy announced it was recruiting transfer students. Furcus clearly had a hand in it. The transfer exam was scheduled completely out of the blue, taking Ellie by surprise. To her surprise, the results sheet reads, Pass. Furcus asks Ellie with a smirk. That level of help is acceptable, right? Furcus, changing his appearance, declares, I only gave you a chance, you did it on your own. Ellie frowns. You really are the devil, you even changed your appearance to fit in. Climbing the stairs of the academy, Ellie admits, anyway, it's easier now, thanks. All around, the life of an elite academy is bustling. Students socialize and study. Ellie's eyes glittered. A whole different world. An academy for the noble elite. She recalls, here status decides everything, but smart people can get through. I got into the top class only because of my studies. Ellie clutched her skirt nervously, her doubts overwhelming her. The question in her mind is, Will I be able to settle in here? Furcus casually inquires, so who will you choose? Ellie thinks, too easy for someone who longs for true love. The demon reminds with a smirk, you can be picky, but you don't have much time. Furcus listens to the enthusiastic cheers of the female students. The demon points to the popular guy. How about him? Ellie recognizes him. Ah, he's famous, even I've heard of him. William appears before her, a handsome man with blue eyes and a confident smile. William Bradley Hampshire, distinguished swordsman, son of a duke, impeccable pedigree. Ellie ponders, not bad, but always in scandals. They say he's equal to everyone. She sarcastically thinks, if you're ready to share true love with the whole school, go for it. Furcus remarks with a chuckle, so you've really stopped being a good girl. Ellie looks at him, her gaze expressing a mixture of surprise and determination. She covers her mouth thoughtfully, pondering his words and her next move. Ellie admits with a smile, being honest feels good. Furcus reflects, if popular is no good, then suddenly a guy calls out to them, are you the new guys everyone's talking about? He holds out his hand. Lyle A. Moore. Lyle is the Viscount's second son, known for his far from noble behavior. Rumors are surfacing. He changes girls like gloves, not sparing and married. Ellie thinks, handsome, sure, but, and introduces herself, Elena Shelley McClure. Lyle shakes her hand. Everyone calls me Ellie. Oh, from Barony McClure? Lyle looks at Furcus curiously. And this is your boyfriend? Furcus replies with a smile. No, more like an acquaintance, just Furcus. Lyle turns to Ellie and Furcus. Since we met like this, maybe it's fate. He offers with a smile. How about buying a ticket? Ellie is surprised. Tickets? For what? Lyle clarifies, sort of a fundraiser for some poor guy. The guy playfully points to himself. Save me with a coin from my purse. Ellie replies, embarrassed, I don't have any money at all. Ellie hesitated. And I don't think it's worth buying something suspicious. Furcus holds out the money with a smile. Here, for me and Ellie. Furcus pays up and Lyle magnanimously declares, keep the change. Ellie exclaims, hey, Furcus? The demon holds up 2 tickets with a sly grin. Intriguing, isn't it? You never know what fate has in store. Lyle gives Furcus a friendly hug. Furcus, huh? You seem like a real nice guy. The guy waves them goodbye. The event is this weekend. Save your tickets. While Lyle is harassing the other students, Ellie asks Furcus, so what do we do about it? The demon replies, maybe meet someone interesting. Furcus teases, buying questionable things is a bad girl thing to do, right? Ellie thinks, what a hustler, a real devil. Ellie, with ticket in hand, asks confusedly, by the way, what is this event anyway? Ellie and Furcus's attention is drawn to someone's appearance in the distance. A perfect couple appears before them. A girl with golden hair and a guy with glasses, surrounded by an aura of splendor. The demon points at the boy with a smile. Perfect timing. Why don't you take him away? Ellie is shocked. What are you talking about? Turns out it's Noah Baker Valley, the crown prince of this country. Next to him is Beatrice Arabella Olson, daughter of the Marquise, bride of the prince, and queen of St. Karma Academy. Ellie objects, so what? Their marriage has been decided since childhood. There's no getting in between. Furcus only snickers as the prince and Beatrice chat sweetly. Beatrice casts a barely perceptible, understanding glance in their direction. Prince Noah basks in the attention of the female students. Ellie watches from the sidelines. Furcus insists, I think it's possible, but Ellie objects, you don't understand. Ellie pondered. Besides, Prince Noah and I wouldn't be a match. She whispers to Furcus, he seems indecisive. Don't tell anyone, fearing the consequences. Demon reminds with a smirk, because our contract is still in effect. Ellie thinks irritably, what a creep. Furcus offers, then how about Lyle? Ellie is adamant, a playboy like that? No way. Demon rebukes, you complain too much, Ellie parries. The problem is your choices. Ellie declares emphatically, there must be someone better. We'll look among the nobles. Suddenly, Ellie freezes as she sees a mysterious figure from the back in front of her. Ellie recognizes the stranger. So it's you. He introduces himself. Patrick Naomi Callahan, and you're Elena, right? Ellie nods and Patrick turns to Furcus. And you are Furcus then? Patrick explains, I was told to show the academy to the new students. He looks piercingly. But before, let me ask you a question. Patrick wondered, why do you newly transferred know so much about the students here? His gaze is demanding. Ellie panics. Are we suspected? Furcus is unfazed. Well, he's a celebrity, isn't he? The demon adds with a smirk. No wonder we've heard of him. Ellie mentally praises Furcus. That was a neat trick. Besides, you knew about us yourself? Ellie tries to smooth things over. You're a celebrity yourself, always top of the class. Patrick doesn't deny it, and Furcus thinks, so what if Ellie knows a lot about the students? Patrick admits, I thought in case you were suspicious and wanted to get close to my friend. Ellie is shocked. Got in for the money? That's not true. My family is not rich. Patrick didn't relent. Maybe you knew the content of the exams beforehand? Ellie yells, never! Ellie says bitterly, studying is the only thing I'm good at. She continues with despair. If you deny that too, I'll have nothing left. Patrick looks surprised at her genuine frustration. He lowers his gaze and apologizes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. Ellie and Furcus smile. She says, it's okay. You were worried about your friend, weren't you? Furcus smirks. You're so kind. And Ellie thinks, he's at it again, making me look good. Ellie objects, I'm not kind, just normal, and reminds Patrick, by the way, weren't you going to give us a tour? Patrick holds out a piece of paper to them. Here you go. He explains, this is a map of our academy. With it, you will find any building. Patrick adds, I've marked places to study in peace. Ellie thanks embarrassedly. Ellie is puzzled. What's with him? Just now he suspected me. Patrick is about to leave, but Furcus stops him. Wait. Demon offers with a smile. Wouldn't a tour for Ellie be the best apology? Patrick hesitates. I don't think I can show Ms. Elena anything interesting, Furcus parries. And that's for her to decide, right? Ellie is surprised. Furcus whispers to Ellie, you know, that's how the sprouts of romance begin. Ellie ponders. He doesn't seem bad since he cares so much about his friends. Maybe we should give it a try. With a smile, Ellie asks Patrick, I want you to give me a tour. Patrick looks puzzled and slightly embarrassed by her direct request. He hesitantly agrees. Since you say so, please follow me. Furcus grins with anticipation. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The demon snaps his fingers, and a spark of magic seems to run around them. Patrick shows them the huge library. Ellie is thrilled. Wow! A close-up of the bookshelves shows ancient folios with wizened titles. Patrick explains that the place is often visited by scientists and researchers. Ellie marvels at the scale of the library and notices the stairs down. Wow, there's a basement in here too? Patrick explains that there are old books stored downstairs and it's very quiet. Ellie brightens up. Great advice. Thanks, Patrick. Furcus watches them with a barely perceptible smirk. Ellie asks with interest, Can we look in there? Patrick embarrassedly agrees. The camera focuses on a wooden staircase leading into the semi-darkness of the basement. Patrick gallantly extends his hand to Ellie, offering to help. Ellie looks at his outstretched hand with slight surprise. He leads her down the stairs. Careful, Ellie thanks. Furcus watches smugly from above. Ellie is slightly embarrassed. It's pretty dim downstairs. Ellie notes that it's quieter here than upstairs. Ellie marveled, You're so knowledgeable. Patrick, there are no windows, so the sun doesn't spoil the books. Patrick modestly averts his gaze. It's just common sense? Ellie looks at him with a slight blush, clearly intrigued. Furcus, rubbing his chin, watches the couple with a smirk. Ellie clarifies, How do you get books? Patrick, the student one is on the counter and everything is in the brochure. Ellie holds up the card with a smile. Thanks, I'll look it over. Patrick looks at Ellie, slightly puzzled by her behavior. He says thoughtfully, looking at her, You're kind of weird. Ellie, not offended in the least, grinned. You think so? Patrick suddenly grabs Ellie's hand, pulling her closer. They look into each other's eyes, surrounded by a romantic aura. Patrick suddenly kisses Ellie, warning about wolves in sheep's clothing. Ellie covers her mouth with her hand in shock, remembering the kiss that just happened. She angrily accuses Furcus, So it's your magic's fault. The demon only smirks. Furcus smugly declares, I only gave you a little nudge toward true love. Ellie, thinking about it, admits. That was apropos. I did think about him a little bit. The girl firmly asks Furcus not to interfere in her romantic affairs. The demon reminds her, "You keep complaining and your contract time is limited." Ellie looks embarrassed and excuses herself. "Yeah, not that I forgot." Forcas declares emphatically, "I've made up my mind." The demon offers Ellie a choice of 4 guys she's met. Forcas thinks 4 choices are enough. Ellie is outraged at his self-rule. The demon smirks sinisterly, its eyes flashing purple. Forcas reaches his hand out to Ellie, uttering, "Since that's the case?" He suddenly grabs her by the throat, asking, "Ready to die right now?" Forcas nuzzles Ellie, repeating his threat with a chilling smile. Ellie realizes in horror, "He's really trying to kill me." The girl realizes that Forcas is a real devil in every sense. Gasping, Ellie asks if he's ready to take her soul, and Forcas confesses that he can't stand boredom. Forcas coldly states, "I hate people who make excuses instead of taking action." Ellie thinks in a panic, "No, at this rate I'm really—" Forcas smirks. The girl gives up. Okay, I'll choose from these 4, okay?" Forcas waves her hand with a satisfied smile, releasing her grip. Ellie coughs on the ground. Forcas pronounces, "That's better." Gasping, Ellie hisses, "I hate you." The demon replies, "What an honor, but since you have the strength to speak—" Forcas suggests, "Why not look for true love?" Ellie thinks, "I don't want to listen to this jerk, but—" The demon stands with dark wings behind his back. Ellie realizes, "My life is literally in the hands of this devil." The camera shows the majestic academy building flooded with light. Ellie sits in the lecture, diligently taking notes, while Forcas dozes next to her on the desk. Ellie watches confusedly as Zion, surrounded by female fans, holds her lunch. The girls, including Ellie, look at Zion, who seems a little weary of the attention. Ellie sits alone on a park bench, immersed in her thoughts. A close-up of Ellie's face, she looks pensive and a little confused. Ellie exclaims in despair that nothing is happening, and Forcas caustically reminds her of her task. The girl sighs heavily, holding a box of food in her hands, clearly tired of the situation. She is eating a sandwich, contemplating her fate, when suddenly there is a sharp sound. Ellie falls off the bench in surprise, exclaiming, "What?" A familiar guy with glasses appears from behind a bench. "Oh, hi." Ellie, still on the ground, looks up at him in surprise. Ellie cries out in fright, and the guy apologizes that he didn't mean to scare her. Lying on the ground, Ellie recognizes him. "You, Prince Noah, right?" The green-haired guy with glasses confirms with a smile, "Uh-huh, yeah, that's me, but just call me Noah." Close-up of Noah's hand clutching a small garden trowel. Noah recognizes Ellie. "You're new, Elena, right?" The girl asks to be called Ellie. Ellie curiously asks what he's doing here, noticing the dirt on him. Noah, standing next to Ellie, explains that he was collecting fallen leaves. He points to a pile of leaves, saying he wanted to make compost, when suddenly a bug crawls out of there, scaring Ellie. Noah apologizes for disturbing her, noticing that Ellie was eating lunch, and asks her to ignore him. Ellie stares in amazement at the prince busily gardening, thinking, "This is—" Ellie sees her chance. "My chance to bond with Noah," and calls him out. Noah turns around in surprise, covering his mouth with his hand in surprise. Ellie offers with a charming smile, "Do you want me to help? It's hard to do it alone, isn't it?" Prince Noah, clearly not expecting such a thing, only utters a surprised expression. "Ah?" Ellie declares emphatically, "Let me help you, and in return, fall in love with me." Noah replies with a warm smile. "Thank you, Ellie. Well, I'll take you up on your offer then." Ellie's heart is pounding, she thinks. First of all, looking at him confused. Picking up leaves, Ellie is determined, "I don't care if it makes his fiancée Beatrice angry. My life is on the line." Together, they quickly fill a sack full of leaves, all collected. Noah looks happily at the bag. "That's enough for a lot of compost, great fertilizer for plants." Noah enthusiastically tells us that at home he needs to get right into earthworms for good soil. The prince embarrassingly apologizes, mentioning that Beatrice also scolds him for talking about insects. Ellie can barely contain a chuckle as she looks at the infatuated prince. The girl can't stand it and laughs gleefully, covering her mouth with her hand. Noah looks surprised at her reaction, clearly not expecting this. Ellie assures with a smile that such talk doesn't make her angry at all. She thinks about how much Noah loves plants and insects, noting the difference from his usual behavior. Noah calls Ellie weird since most girls would be scared, but Ellie thinks, "No way!" The prince admits with a warm smile, "I'm glad you're not." Noah remembers something and pulls a bottle out of his bag. Noah pours the drink into a cup, saying, "In gratitude for your help, and as a token of our new friendship." Ellie marvels, "Oh, coffee, what an amazing flavor." Noah confesses that he grew the beans himself. The prince even fried them himself. Ellie is shocked. "What? You can do all that? Unbelievable." Ellie tastes the coffee with relish. "Very tasty." Noah replies with a smile, "You and Will are pretty much the only ones who praise it, though I'm sure of the taste." The girl assures, "I never would have thought it was homemade. He's really good." Noah is happy to hear that. Ellie drinks her coffee, thinking with a slight sense of guilt, "I helped him out of self-interest." Noah suddenly exclaims, "Ah," getting her attention. The prince pulls out a handkerchief. "You've got dirt here." Noah gently wipes Ellie's cheek with his handkerchief. Ellie winces as Noah gently touches her cheek with her handkerchief. Their faces dangerously close. The girl bursts out exclaiming, "Ah!" and thinks, "Oh no, how embarrassing." Noah looks at her with a warm, understanding smile. The prince begins, "Ellie, if you want, we could," but is interrupted by a sharp shout, "Hey, you there!" A furious blonde woman appears, arms crossed. "What are you doing here, huh?" Ellie and Noah turn around startled at the menacing voice.